A few days ago, I made a community post expressing my dissatisfaction with the Voltaic benchmarks, citing concerns about their emphasis on score farming and their transformation into a marketing gimmick. While I stand by my opinion, some in the Voltaic community felt it was unfair of me to criticize without delving into specifics or proposing an alternative. So let's clarify my stance. In essence, the Voltaic benchmarks rank individuals based on their ability to achieve specific scores in various categories, such as static and dynamic scenarios, but of course this applies to everything. Your highest score determines your rank, a relatively straightforward concept. The concern I hold with the Voltaic benchmarks lies in the functioning of the scoring system within Kovacs. The problem arises from the possibility of attaining higher scores without genuine improvement, a practice commonly known as farming a scenario. Given that this method often results in faster rank progression, it becomes a prevalent trend. As more individuals engage in this practice, it becomes a domino effect. Consequently, the original purpose of the benchmarks, which was to assess and enhance aiming skills, erodes. It transforms into a pursuit of achieving the highest score possible rather than fostering genuine improvement. While it might initially seem that a higher score correlates with better aim, the reality is different. Allow me to elaborate on some of the ways people engage in score farming to showcase their scores, boost their VT rank, and indulge in other unconventional practices. These individuals are the ones who incessantly mash the reset button until they secure the best spawns. While this practice provides a consistent starting point, it's generally acceptable if everyone adheres to it, ensuring an even playing field. However, the problem arises when you realize not everyone adopts this approach, and those who do take it to an extreme. They'll continue resetting until they achieve perfect spawns, subsequently eliminating bots and repeating the process if they don't encounter favorable spawns again. Although this may seem inconsequential as it pertains solely to Kovac scores, the real issues emerge when individuals begin showcasing their VT scores. There are essentially two types of VT benchmarks players: those who approach scenarios with the genuine intent to address weakness and improve overall aim, and those who optimize scenarios for the sake of achieving the highest scores. The latter group attains high scores, resulting in elevated VT ranks, which they then flaunt. Given the higher ranked VT players are often admired, a ripple effect occurs where others emulate their practices. Unfortunately, many fail to distinguish between genuine training and score farming. This emulation phenomenon undermines the original purpose of the VT benchmarks, designed for players to run scenarios, assess their skill levels, and subsequently engage in proper training to retest themselves later. The benchmarks lose their intended meaning due to the prevalence of score farming, diluting the essence of skill improvement and control refinement. While score farming and score optimizing might sound similar, they differ significantly. As mentioned earlier, score farming involves repeatedly running a scenario, resetting frequently to secure optimal spawns, providing more opportunities to achieve a higher score without genuine improvement. Score optimizing, on the other hand, is about playing a scenario in the most efficient way for achieving a high score. While there is some overlap, such as the practices of reset andes, they differ in a crucial aspect. Score farming allows you to still play the scenario correctly and genuinely focus on improving weaknesses to some extent. However, score optimizing goes further, involving the intentional neglect of the correct way to play the scenario in favor of the easiest approach. This might include actions like planting your crosshair in front of moving targets and waiting, avoiding snapping or flicking in dynamic scenarios and instead floating your crosshair around, or deliberately edge tracking to enhance reaction time. Some even go as far as playing on 140 FOV on every target switching scenario and employing various other practices that I strongly disagree with. While it's essential to acknowledge that individuals have purchased the game and can play it as they please, the consequences of these practices matter. Why do I care? Because individuals genuinely passionate about improving their aim may look up to those with high scores in VT ranks, assuming they possess exceptional skill, a belief that in large majority of cases isn't accurate. This creates a misleading image for new and inexperienced aimers, leading them to believe that what they witness is correct when in many instances it isn't. I won't mention specific names, but if you're observant, you may identify the individuals I'm referring to. However, the purpose is not to encourage negativity towards them. This video is not about bashing anyone, but aims to illustrate the issues I find concerning. Many higher ranked VT members share their scores, sometimes achieved through score farming or optimization. Observers may perceive these scores and think this person has exceptional aim. However, upon closer inspection, their actual in-game performance may tell a very different story. This example is not intended to flame the creator, but it serves to highlight the significant disparity between their high scores in Kovacs and their average in-game aim. People often look at these players for guidance on improving, believing them to be genuinely skilled. On the other hand, genuinely skilled, consistently practiced aimers may go unnoticed. They avoid score farming / optimization and instead concentrate on proper training with the aim of achieving the best possible skill level instead of the best possible score. Some may argue that these clips are cherry-picked, which is a reasonable assumption. To protect the identities of these players, I'm unfortunately not willing to provide additional videos to their average play. However, if you do identify them, I encourage you to examine their averages, compare them to their Kovac scores, and recognize the potentially misleading nature of some of these players' skills. I want to emphasize that this video is not intended as an attack, defamation, or an attempt to initiate a witch hunt against Voltaic. I used to genuinely love Voltaic, and I still appreciate it for providing valuable resources to aspiring aimers. My admiration is for the concept of Voltaic, however, my concerns lie with certain aspects of the community and its members. If you find joy in using the Voltaic benchmarks, score farming, and engaging in practices I disagree with, that's your choice. At the end of the day, the supposed beef that some claim exists between me and Voltaic is meaningless. Everyone is free to pursue their preferences, and I'm free to express criticism. My intention is not to spread negativity, but to voice my disagreement with certain practices, sending nothing but love to everyone in, around, or part of Voltaic. I'm sure each person there is genuinely lovely, but as with any community, differing opinions exist. I appreciate the community and what it offers, even though I may not align with all of its practices. All the best. I'll see you guys later.